I think it's time for me to make another skirt. Hello, it's Icy. I am back with another sewing project. This one, yes, I'm going to make another skirt because, well, I have a couple of events to go to. One very shortly, at the time I'm recording this video, in 2 weeks actually, almost exactly. And I thought, sure, that's great for you, Icy. Why don't you give yourself a hard time limit to sew something? It's a very bad idea. So I thought I would make a skirt. I do have another event in October that this is originally planned for, but maybe I will actually do it early and wear it to both places. This is the thing. So I want to make a 3/4 circle skirt. I now have some experience with circle skirts. It will look vaguely, I guess it's kind of also sort of history bounding as well. It's not going to be as formal and structured as the walking skirt that you can see here, which is kind of also being part of the sewing armor project as well, but it will be tricky. I plan to make it tricky. Now I have done a lot of thought about this, about the plan for this. I have the perfect material already, which you will have seen in the one of the little short videos. If I can show you this. It is double-sided Ponte di Roma, which is a two-way stretch, heavy-duty. I guess it counts as a jersey. Actually, I don't know. But check out this perfectly 1990s goth vibe going on with the check. It is. So my plan is to actually make a double-sided skirt that I can wear two ways, like on the black side or on the check side. Because in October I'll be away for like 4 or 5 days. So having a double-sided skirt to give me some more fashion options is actually really cool. So I've done some, let me show you how it flows. It's not super thick Ponte, so it does still have quite a lot of drape. I got too much actually, because originally I was planning to make a full circle, and now I think a 3/4 circle will be sufficient. If I kind of, do a bit of a gather, we've got, it'll be a really heavy swish, but I think it should sit very nicely. Lengthwise, I'm planning sort of just above the ankle probably, so not too long, though. I'm planning to have quite a wide waistband on this. So the plan would be either I can wear it kind of sort of down to here with the waistband up, or possibly bring it up a bit, fold the waistband over, and then kind of adjust the final length of the skirt as well. Pockets. Pockets are a tricky beast if you are planning to make a double-sided skirt that's only one layer. I have had some thoughts about pockets, might have to see how that evolves. I think the general idea is kind of, sort of patch pockets, kind of, maybe, but also kind of integrating some other ideas. It's kind of like I'm not 100% how I'm going to do the pockets yet. This is the thing, right? If literally all I wanted to make was a 3/4 length circle skirt with a wide waistband, this would take me all of about, I don't know, I could probably do this in a couple of days, even with my amount of sewing, where I just sort of squeeze it in half-hour increments here and there. But me being me, I wish to complicate this project more than it needs to be. So it'd probably take longer. The other thing I'd like to be able to do with this is have like a removable bib, so I can turn it into sort of more of a pinafore, which I think would be awesome. I'd also like to, as part of the pinafore, or maybe instead of the pinafore, have some braces as well, because I think that would also look awesome. You know, I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, is the way I roll. The other thing I'd like to do, probably not in 2 weeks, but before the October event, is I'd like to make a matching vest, which I think would also be fabulous. And that would also be double-sided as well. Like, the buttons would go in different directions, but I don't care about that one. So yeah, that's the next plan, I think. Will this be done in 2 weeks? I don't know. Keep watching to find out, because maybe, hopefully. It really depends. There's been a lot of things. People have been sick. I've been sick. It's all been very up in the air recently. So if I get some chunky time, maybe. So hopefully. Anyway, join me on this adventure. Okay, it's been a while since we've done a pattern, so let's talk that, shall we? So I think what I'm going to do is have a 2-part skirt. So one part will be a half circle, and then the second part will actually be a quarter circle, like this. So obviously this is all done on, it's got checked material, so I need to be very careful to match the checks. So in this skirt, for example, I'll use one edge will be along the selvage, so everything will come off at right angles, and then on this side it'll also be at right angles to the actual kind of edge of it, which means hopefully I should be able to match up the lines, because they'll go across like this and then across like this. So hopefully the checks will match up here and here. You know, maybe. We'll be hoping. This will be the front of the skirt. Honestly, it's a very similar design actually to the walking skirt, where the walking skirt had a narrower front panel with a half circle attached to the back. I plan to I may add a few darts in the back here, but there's not going to be any pleats or anything significant, I don't think. I think I'm just going to keep it with fairly simple, fairly straightforward, not quite as history bounded as the previous one. So once the skirt is constructed, I've got a couple of options for example, the waistline. I can either have, this has got a decent amount of stretch, this kind of ponte. This is the other ponte I've been using for the other project that was from an old skirt. It's pretty much the same. And I've got another ponte skirt out of this other gorgeous stuff that I actually made. So for the waistband, for those ones, they're just literally a strip of the same material. There's no additional elastic. It stretches enough that you can be a nicely fitted waistline on its own. It doesn't need any additional elastic. So I will probably do that. The only difference is if I, oh my God, what is that? Sketch a skirt. So I got two options for the waistband. One is as a single piece that can then be folded over to make a shorter waistband. But another option would be to do it more like the walking skirt, where I actually do have the waistband separated and have, you know, buttons and then like an overlap and do it that way. If I do that, it's very hard for the waistband to actually be longer or shorter. However, it does have the advantage that then I can actually use these buttons to anchor a pinafore top or a braces off as well. If I do something like that here, I actually don't know how I would anchor anything. Actually, do you know, I know, I've just had a great idea. I love doing this. I love thinking about these things and drawing them up because all of a sudden you have fantastic ideas. Okay, so if we have the tall waistband that can be folded through the middle on the skirt, if I have a couple of almost horizontal belt tabs just discreetly, probably in non-stretch, just discreetly at the waistband, then I can actually bring a custom braces through here, fold it up, and then have the braces button on themselves. And that would work, because then I could actually have a pinafore top that slides through the waistbands here and is literally a square of material with some channels in the sides, probably more triangular actually, with some channels in the sides that the braces can feed through. Maybe with a buttonhole there, that part of the braces buttonhole can actually pop through as well, just to keep it more secure. Oh shit, that would be great. And if I repeated the little discrete strappy bits on the inside and the outside, well, sorry, the check side and the black side of the skirt band, then I can have the braces on either side. And for that matter, if I make the braces double-sided as well, so they're checked on one side and they're plain on the other. In fact, I would even make them, if I have enough material, I would even make the braces on the diagonal, because that would look cool. I'm okay. And what else did I say I wanted? I wanted pockets, right? Okay, so pockets I have had a little think about. All right, so let's draw up this again. This is the front piece. Imagine that's a 45-degree angle, because that's roughly what we're talking. Let's put a waistband on again, like a nice white one. Okay, so I could have a pair of patch pockets and just have them on the outside, so an opening here, but these would just be patched straight on. I don't know how practical, actually. Do you know what? I think my best option here is to maybe sew the skirt up first and then see how it sits before I fully, completely commit to pockets, probably without the waistband. So one option would be to have this shaped pocket on both sides, and then sort of like a placket that comes through that can be accessed from both sides. So you can actually access the pocket like from the inside, from both sides basically. I keep saying the inside and the outside, but the black side and the check side. But that would be really weird, and it might gape in a very strange way here, because the idea would be you could actually come in the pocket on the black side, and then if you really wheeled your hand, you could go back out and sort of inside the skirt, which would be weird. And you'd basically have this patch section sewn on the front and the back. Or I do something along the lines of I have patch pockets as well, but I have some patch pockets, I'm running out of room here, some patch pockets on the outside, and then some patch pockets on the inside. No, I think that's bad. Okay, so if I want pockets, I think I need to look at this. I don't necessarily need pockets, because this would be a going out skirt, and if I'm going out anywhere, I've got some sort of handbag. So I will say, if this was not going to be a reversible skirt, I would totally be putting pockets in, assuming the line of the skirt was fine. My generous hips do make pockets sometimes be weird. Actually, and I have learned a lesson with this, if I was going to put patch pockets on, they'd actually probably need to start further down. Not at the waistband, because I know from experience that will look odd. They might need to sit a little further down, which might also not look great if they're patch pockets. I think this one I'll have to experiment. If they're truly going to be patch pockets, then I can do, yeah, I can probably put them on at the end without too much issue or too much unpicking either. Yeah, actually I probably can put them on the end. The way it would work would be, because I'm thinking through this, okay, there's the edge of the skirt, there's the waistband. What I would do is cut a slit here in the skirt, roughly, and then, would that work? Yeah, that would work. I would cut on one side, I would cut a slit in the skirt, and I mean probably finish it off in, just bind it somehow, and then I would put the patch pocket over the whole thing, and so from one side you access the pocket this way through the gap on the sewn section, and on the other side you would access the pocket through this slit instead. Oh, yes, that would work fine, actually. And as long as this slit is not visible, like, so this slit needs to be in a bit, because it needs to not be visible while, basically you would see through to your underwear. If you could see through this slit and then through this slit, that would be through into the body. But if I did it this way, that would be, okay, yeah, that's a definite option. The other thing is, yeah, I can totally make the skirt first and then decide if that's going to work. Because I'll be handling quite a lot of material, but it'll be fine. I can bind this or do something with this, and I suspect that will be, the slit one will be for the black side, because binding the check would look not as good. And that would work nicely because then the check pockets can actually be cut on the straight, or they can, basically the checks of the pockets could be cut at a different angle to the checks of the skirt, which would look pretty good. Okay, and then the one last thing I need to think about is the folding of the waistband. So do I make it so the waistband is plain on the check? Or do I make it so the waistband is probably like that? And then if you want to see the check waistband, you'd actually, rather than folding this outwards, you'd actually fold it inwards. That way you still get to see the check. I mean, your other option is if you wanted a black waistband, that would be fine. You could fold it out and see the black waistband. This is good. And then one other thing I need to think about is how I do the hems. Because obviously I'll need to be able to see, like all of the hems will need to be finished in such a way that you only see the right color. So I'll probably have to do, I think, I'm not sure. I think they're felled hems, are they? So you have like this and then tuck it under. And then you sew here and then maybe also sew here as well. Like jeans, basically. So I think this side will be the check because then I don't need to worry about the fold having to match the check. And then this side will be the black. There's not actually, I mean, there's very few seams on here. There's like the long ones along the skirt. And then there's the waistband. The waistband will be a bit tricky actually, because obviously this is not a stretch seam. So attaching the waistband to the skirt, I'll have to think about that. I don't have an overlocker, so I don't have kind of a neat, straight, stretchy kind of thing. I only have a sewing machine. I do have some stitches on my sewing machine that are good for this kind of join, but they won't give like a super neat result. So I might have to have a little think about how I'm going to attach the waistband. But it's a plan. Do these scribbles make sense? I hope so. I'm really looking forward to making this. It's going to be awesome. I'm unexpectedly back for a chat much earlier than, than I had planned. So blithely in the introduction I said, oh, I'll just match the patterns for the checks down the front where I'm planning to sew on the quarter piece to the half piece. Now nominally that should work, but as I am sorting out the material before I even start to cut the circle, so I've pinned very precisely all the way down along the whole length, which I can't show you because the whole camera stand is standing on there, of the material, so I can get it exactly across. And then I thought, oh no, it'd probably be a good idea if I actually pinned the checks across here to make sure that I match it properly as I actually, so when I cut the circle, the half circle, there's exactly the same number of checks along the edge of the half circle. Now, this would work perfectly on woven check material, but these are printed checks on a stretch ponte and perhaps unsurprisingly, though surprising to me, I guess, because I didn't think about that, they're not lining up super well. So what I'm having to do is actually, go through every few squares and stretch one side and maybe, or stretch the back side or the top side depending, and actually pin it so that the actual checks line up. The other thing I think I'm starting to need to do is I'm actually going to go through, because I think this will make it easier as I cut the circles out. I'm actually cutting every 10, I don't know if you can see that? There, against my skin. Every 10 checks, I'm actually putting a little notch. I'm going to do that on the front and the back. So then when I'm doing things, I can actually line up those notches. And I think the ultimate plan will be for the front piece as well. I'll do the same because that way, hopefully, I can use those to actually line the checks up. With any luck, they're actually going to kind of work also like the little sewing notches that you'd get on a sewing pattern as well, so that I can actually get the lengths of the front piece to match up. So I thought I would just give a super quick update before I've even done anything, actually, just to say, this is not going to be as easy as I thought. Oh no. And of course, this is a project with nominally a hard deadline. It's not really a hard deadline. I have many other things I could wear. I'm not even sure I would necessarily wear this to this event that's in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks now, 13 days. But we'll give it a go. Okay, so this is just the sides sewn together. Nothing else, no waistband, just a test. And I don't like it. Not at all. Do you know, I've got two different sorts of shoes on. This is a very goth skirt. I am wearing chunky boots, two different kinds of chunky boots, so I can get a look and see if it works with both sorts of chunky boots I own. Well, some of the chunky boots I own. But, so this is a 3/4 circle. So I've got the quarter circle at the front, the half circle at the back. So, I mean, nominally that's fine. One thing is, I really should have made the back longer because my well-endowed rear end is really lifting that back hem up a lot. So if I pull this up and fold it over, it's more even, but I don't like it. I don't like it. So a couple of things I think I'm going to do. If I do that, if I put kind of like, almost like a fold at the front here, suddenly that's giving, I mean, look, honestly, it is giving a lot more walking skirt, Victorian / Edwardian vibes. Belle Epoque, Belle Epoque, which admittedly I literally just made a Victorian skirt, but it's fine, that's fine. If I basically do that, that actually looks fine. It gives a really interesting kind of look. The disadvantage is if I put a pleat here or do something here, what's going to happen is I won't be able to reverse the skirt again. So that's the equivalent of me going like, maybe that's okay. I'm not gonna strip this off here right now and put on the black side. Maybe it's okay. When did I pin that there? Showing? Like actively have pleats like hanging off the edge there. That's kind of a, what was the other one? Like a French, swags at the front is like a French style of Victorian skirt. If I do this, because I could just chop that section off, pull those up, sew the waistband across here instead. Like chop off the extra, but just run it on that fold. Let me just, actually, why don't we go for the trusty bulldog clips. Truly, if you haven't got like little bulldog style clips in your sewing arsenal, they are so useful. The really strong, like the small but really strong ones, because they can absolutely hold material that pins then sort of pop out of. How's that? Do you know what? I think I might go and put on the black side and come back. Hang on. Okay. That's actually pretty good. It's actually not, it's not bad. So what that means is the pleats are kind of going this way on the black side and then going outwards on the grey side. Could do either way. One thing is though, if I'm doing this, no pockets. Pockets are not going to happen if I have like big fancy flouncy pleats on the skirt at the front. I think it works. I think it's okay. I think I can work with this. I didn't like it how it is. I think I'm realizing that the sort of Victorian style of walking skirt where it's got like a fairly straight front panel and then all the volume in the back is 100% something that looks much better on me. So if I am making full skirts from now on, I'm going to be doing that, basically. But yeah, this is, it's giving good, strong 1980s grunge goth vibes, which is what I was aiming for. So let's do, what am I going to do next? Well, I have to finish off the hem, the seams. So the idea with this is I'll trim the shorter one down. The slits I put in were actually fantastic for matching the pattern, but now they're going to have an issue where I'm trying to actually finish these. So I'll cut the shorter one down to like 1 square's width, and then I will fold and sew the other one around, and then on the ins, like if I'm wearing it on the black side, it'll be really neat, and on that side it'll be look like a denim pattern where there's an extra line of sewing, which will be fine. And the other thing I have not worked out what I'm doing yet or how I'm doing that is the waistband, just because how am I going to attach it in a way that's fine and from both sides but is still stretch? That's the trick. The trick is it still needs to be stretched, so I can't use a straight stitch. So I'll have to use some sort of visible zigzaggy thing, but then still have it so it's all black on one side and all grey on the other. This, however, maybe I can do something with, see, the thing what I've done here, I haven't actually changed the width of the waistband. I've just like grabbed this front section and pinned it up equivalent. So I've just, that's basically all I've done. So the waistband is still the same. I can't currently get it off over my hips, but it will go off over my head. So I can't, I need stretch. I need stretch sewing, so, and I don't own an overlocker. I've only got some funky stretch stitches on my trusty sewing machine, so I have to have a think. There might end up being some sort of not as nice looking visible stuff, but we'll see what happens, so. I thought I'd give a really quick partway through update. It's going extremely well. The skirt looks amazing. I'm so pleased with it. It has the perfect vibe. So I'm really happy with that. The suspenders, braces, tabs that I put onto the skirt went really well with a little bit of ribbon on the inside. Unfortunately, my idea for the reversible double button thing to attach the suspenders to the belt tabs did not work. I think the idea would have worked if I wasn't working with stretch. If it had been solid material, I think that would have completely worked. The idea, just in case it wasn't super obvious, let me just grab this piece of double-sided thing here. The idea was chop this off, turn it around, so when it's folded it all looks grey, like it looks grey on one side, it all looks black on the other. And then what you do is you put a buttonhole here, and then you put a button on either side so it can button through this way, or it can button through this way. If I'd reinforced the inside of the stretch material with something solid, I think that would have been okay. I think it would have probably worked. The first set of buttons didn't work because they ended up being too close together, so there was no way to actually get the material sort of under the button. If I'd put like a shank on them or something, which would have been a bit tricky, like a basically extra length of cotton, so they were further from the material, probably it would have worked. Bit tricky to do with a button on either side, going through the same holes. So then I tried buttons that already had a shank, and then discovered the buttonhole just wasn't structured enough. I had a quick go at trying to hand sew the buttonhole to reinforce it, but the material itself just wasn't cutting it. So in the end, I've sacrificed a pair of old suspenders that I had. I don't remember. Like literally, I've had these somewhere 5 to 10 years. I haven't worn them in ever. Probably once or twice. I don't feel bad about that. I've still got the slidey size adjusty bits, that's the technical term, and I've got all this really like great heavy duty elastic. So I don't regret that. I'm realizing the mic's very sensitive, so me shuffling these metal bits around is probably picking up. So in the end, what I've got is braces. Now, okay, so the outside is all on the side of the check. The inside is on the black side, but it still looks like it's pretty plain. I don't think it'll be a problem to wear it that way around. So, let me, here's one. Hang on. Let me just lift all the metal sections off so it's not very noisy. Okay, so you just flip that up. They've got little plastic discs on the inside. Slide that into there and then clip it down, and it grips beautifully. The other thing I'm thinking is I might be able to sew these in. So I don't think I need to, because the other thing would be is if it's on the black side, I have to kind of just sort of fold this closed a little bit and then just kind of sort of wedge it under and then snap it closed on the inside. So I do need some level of slack in the little braces thing. It's fine. It's okay. It's not too bad. I would have preferred to have the button things, but it just wasn't working pretty much. Could I have unpicked all of the strapping and like redone it, the whole thing? Yes. Did I? No. There's been various dramas going on here today. I spent a lot of time sewing angry. Not angry at the sewing, but sewing angry, which meant I did a bit of unpicking as well. So it was better just to get a win. It still looks fine. So the last little bit of this project is to actually make a little, it's almost like a bib. It's just gonna sort of be a little kind of, I just thought of a problem with this. Anyway, do I have it? One sec. Alright. Okay, here we go. I've already got the bit that I'm planning to use as well. Roughly, it's going to get cut down. So this is going to have channels sewn on either side here. It's going to go about there, roughly, so that I can turn with the addition of the suspenders. with the addition of this as well. God, don't they look nice on the black? Oh, I might just end up wearing these. These are quite good. Anyway, okay, there we go. Ooh, well, that's quite cute. So this can sort of slide over this. Once again, it will still be reversible, black on one side and checked on the other, and have it sort of tuck under the wide waistband of the skirt. So I can turn it into a pinafore is the idea. I have just realized as I've been doing this, how am I stopping this from sliding down like off the straps? I don't know yet. I don't know. I could do some little discreet press studs maybe on the black side, but even then I think that would look bad. It might not move on its own, that's possible. Or I could have some sort of temporary thing, like literally, because it's not like it needs to be reversible while I'm wearing it. So I could just have safety pins even at the back, just to pin through at the back. That might do. I might actually, oh, noise. I might be able to use these. Possibly. Yeah, I might be able to rig something with these, because that would look, little silver bits at the top would probably look fine. Might be alright. Anyway, this will be, so the whole thing's nearly done. So I should be able to wear this, I think. I think I will be wearing at least the skirt, maybe the braces, probably not the pinafore top, to my do on in just over a week. I actually can't believe that it's nearly done. So, anyway, on to the next experiment. It's done. It only took me like a week. This is record fast for me. I freaking love this. It turned out so beautifully. Nothing like some stretch ponte to really hug those curves. Am I right? So the whole thing works amazingly. The braces are great. I am just going to wear these around on the grey side, if nothing else. The vibe with the skirt is so good. On the grey side, it really does give the vibe of 90s grunge, the idea of a flanny tied around the waist, but make it cottagecore. I think is the way I would describe this. So this is the final pinafore piece that the straps, suspenders actually feed through, and the whole thing just works beautifully. It looks just as good on the black side because double-sided black ponte, two-sided black ponte, absolutely fantastic. It did take a little bit of thinking about in order to get everything to look schmick on the inside and the outside, considering it's not two layers, it's just one layer that has to be sewn in such a way that it's not, there's no raw seams anywhere, everything's folded over, it's all finished off nicely. So I'm so happy. So I am definitely wearing this out to the do I plan to go to, which is actually next week, this time next week. From when I'm recording this, from when this video goes up, it will have been months prior. So if you follow me on the other socials, you will more than likely have seen this outfit already. I won't be wearing this little short-sleeved top. I will be wearing something with long sleeves because it is very cold in Sydney right now. But it all works super fantastically. It works really well with the chunky boots. It also looks fantastic with the matrix coat. It's just a little bit shorter than that final length, so it just tucks away nicely underneath. I'm so happy with how it's all turned out. The little kind of pleat section at the front to kind of change the way the circle skirt was sitting on me worked fabulously. And yeah, it gives that incidental flanny tied around the waist vibe that turned out to be perfect. So let me know what you've been sewing or making in the comments below, because I would like to know. Have you attempted a inside-outside reversible double-sided something before? How'd it go? Did it work out for you? I would like to know. But yeah, say hello in the comments. It's very much appreciated. Do follow me here on YouTube if you have not, also very much appreciated, and on all of the socials which are linked in the description. There will be more videos coming. I'm not 100% of the order that I'm putting these ones that I'm recording up, but I have not finished the sewing armor project yet, so there will be more videos for that, unless they've already been and gone. Probably not. I think I shall stick to putting these up in the order that I record them, so I don't get too confused. But do please check out the rest of the videos on this channel. Very appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.